Hi, welcome to Indigenous Bites, and I'm here on the beautiful Vista Dorado estates with Mark Forgenie in Muruga, and Mark owns this estate that is famous for the Muruga hill rice, which is characteristically red, and there's a lot of noise right now about this beautiful delicious rice. So Mark, tell us about this journey, because I know you're a San Fernando. Well, I mean, you're born in Muruga, but you went Presentation College, so you transitioned into this again. Tell me about a little bit about your story.
Well, I grew up here in Vista in Moruga, and I used to do this the traditional way with my grandmother on a very small acreage, a task. When my dad got ill, the neurosurgeon recommended I get it for him, but it was very hard to get. A lot of young people had gotten out because of the labor required. So I developed an innovative system to mechanize it, and what we're standing in is one of the mechanized fields where we have the rice growing right next to grass, and then when the harvesters come through, the harvesters cut and separate it out. So we don't need to use chemicals to separate the grass from the rice.
So it takes how long between planting at this stage to?
3 months.
3 months. So in 3 months' time, what happens? The harvester harvests the rice.
It's all gonna be full, and you'll see golden heads of rice.
Right.
Harvester will come through, cut it, thresh it, and bag it for us.
And then you mill your own rice?
And then I have my own mill, and we mill our own rice.
And package it. And this is whole grain rice,
It's
because
whole
the
grain.
covering stays on the rice.
We keep the bran on it, and we treat all the varieties the same way to give you the whole value, nutritional value of the rice.
Well, I'm really excited that you've managed to put so much labor and sweat into something that is so invaluable to us here, because I mean, a lot of our indigenous foods are just full of nutrients and absolutely delicious too.
Yes.
So I think we can go and cook some rice now.
Excellent idea, Wendy.
All right. So this morning we're going to be cooking some of this wonderful Muruga hill rice, and I'm going to be making fried rice, and I'm going to invite Mark to come on the set with me to assist. Mark.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, so we're cooking some of this Muruga hill rice, but tell our audience about this rice, and we're going to talk about how we cook it.
Sure. This rice is the wild rice that the Americans brought to Trinidad.
Okay, so this is red rice?
This is red rice.
Okay.
And when you boil it, the mar is red. That's how you know it's a Muruga hill rice.
So what is mar?
The mar is the Hindi word for the water, which comes from the rice.
Okay.
Yeah, in Muruga, we had a mix of cultures.
Right.
We had the Warao First Peoples.
Right.
The Americans.
Right.
Then the African slaves who were here, the East Indian indentured immigrants, and the Europeans.
Okay.
All living and sharing their foods, which is how we have the Muruga hill rice.
So this is like a hybrid type of rice. It's been across through the generations.
It is. It grows on dry land, and it produces this unique red green.
Okay, so how you were mentioning to me just now that there are different varieties of the hill rice?
Yes, there are actually 5 varieties.
So what are the ones that you plant?
I plant all 5.
Okay, so how do we know when we buy a pack of Muruga hill rice what variety is in here? Does it matter?
Yes, some people say they like the different nuances in taste. So far, we've been mainly growing and selling the bongo toffee, which is this darker chocolate. We are now planting 10 acres of the bongo farina, 10 acres of the black hen, and the longbeard as well, and the bongo toffee, so that we will soon have on every pack a little sticker with the type and the variety of hill rice that you are getting coming through the mill.
Okay, so this is bongo toffee. So
yes.
I have steamed some up here, because I always steam my rice. I don't boil it at all.
Yes.
So this is
Lovely.
So what I did is I put 1 cup of rice and about 2.5 cups of water.
Yes.
Right, and then you just bring that to a boil and cover it, simmer it for about 20 minutes.
Yes.
And it gets nice. But of course, when you're making fried rice, you have to sort of have your rice boiled either the day before or earlier on and leave it. I always spread my rice out, whether it's on a strainer or something, so the air can take it and it doesn't stick together when we start to fry, right? So what is beautiful about this rice is, you know, sometimes you buy things that are red and you put it into the water and the water colorizes and whatever you're cooking comes out uncolored.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of this Muruga Hill rice. It is really authentic. And you were talking about the nutrient value earlier on.
Yes, when we tested the rice, we found out that it has very high iron, vitamin C,
See,
fiber, yeah, and potassium and calcium in the rice.
So the high percentage of fiber is because a lot of the covering of the rice stays on the rice when it's milled, right?
Correct.
So it's a whole grain rice.
It's a whole grain,
And
properly wild rice.
So we can't go wrong with it, and you know what? It's really, really delicious. Even if you just steam it and have it, it's really lovely. So let's fry that up now. So you're going to assist me today. So I've got some, first of all, we're going to cook the egg.
Yeah.
So you're going to beat that up for me, and let's
Sure.
get our wok going. Okay, so while you're beating that and the wok is, I'm going to chop up some ginger. You like ginger, Mark?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, so we put in a lot of ginger in there. You know, there's a thing about, there's so many different types of ginger on the market today. They always tell you to look for the local ginger, right?
Yeah.
Because the Chinese ginger is really, really quite large and very, no flavor. Okay, so let's put some oil in there. So you want to slowly put the egg in. Great. We don't want to scramble it, huh? We just want, no, don't touch it. Right, leave it. That's great. So we want to let it bubble up,
Right.
and then it's going to get nice and brown.
Yeah.
And then we flip that over, and what that does is when the egg gets brown, it enhances, the protein takes on a really delicious taste.
Okay.
So let me see how that looks there now. Okay, so you think you could flip that over? Yeah.
Get me cooking lessons from the boss when you're Rahamut.
Okay, so I think we could
Take it out.
yep, give it a little press down. Perfect. Okay, we could flip that out over here now. See how gorgeous that is?
Yep.
It smells good.
Mm-hmm.
See? Beautiful. Okay, so let's move on to step 2 now. Some more oil in there. Okay, so now we've got some ginger. And I've got some onion, garlic, pimento peppers in here. So,
Stir it up.
yep, quite a bit. Walk it around. You may need a little more oil. Does that smell amazing?
Yeah.
It's a pro.
Man, cook in the bush.
Yeah, we're cooking in it. Beautiful. So we want to leave that until it gets nice and fragrant.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I've got a nice bit of fresh. Oh, I've got this lovely chili pepper. So that's going to add a wonderful heat. So let's throw that in there. And we've got some chive. So keep stirring.
Stirring.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. A little more oil, I think? Yeah. Oh, now we have to add our carrots.
Right.
Great. You make fried rice a lot?
Yeah, I make zero rice a lot, which is same kind of concept.
Right. Some people put sweet peppers in their fried rice. I don't like to put that. So they'll let that just spread it around a bit.
Spread flat.
Yeah, so that the vegetables sort of caramelize a little bit.
Yeah.
And whilst that's happening there, I'm going to take my egg and cut it up into little strips, like so.
Okay.
Okay, but while we do that,
one I didn't know.
yeah, we don't want to scramble it, you know.
Okay. Okay.
But I've got these amazing dried shiitake mushrooms.
Yes.
These are the black dried Chinese mushrooms. You don't want to really use the ones in the tin. You want to use these. You reconstitute them like overnight and just
Okay.
smell that. So we're going to use the broth as well to flavor the rice, and I'm just going to chop up some of these and throw them in there. So that's going to give an amazing flavor to this whole thing. That water is like gold, you know, you use it to flavor your stuff with. But you don't want to use the these woody stems, right? So, okay, so I'm going to throw that in there now. I'm going to keep walking that up. We've got our egg back in there. Lovely. And now the rice. So now you see how the rice has been refrigerated overnight and it's
Yes.
gotten nice and grainy.
Yeah.
Right, so it's not sticky. So we put a little bit at a time and stir it around. Keep on walking. Oh, look at how beautiful that is.
Colors are lovely.
Yep. And then a little more. That's gorgeous.
Okay, ready for you again.
Right, so we're good there with the third batch. So I love to put celery in my fried rice, but I like to put it at the end.
Okay.
So, and I really like to use the stems more than the leaves because I think it adds a little bit of a crunch,
Right.
right? So, and it adds a wonderful flavor at the end of the cooking.
After this, I will win cookout competition, right? After these instructions.
So I'm going to use a little bit of the leaves as well here, right?
It's smelling so good, all we need is a little goatee to go with it.
Ooh, okay, so now I've got some soy sauce,
Soy sauce.
right? And I'm putting a little bit of that water that we just not too much. And of course sesame oil, which I absolutely love. And then sometimes a little bit of salt. Chinese food usually has a balance of white pepper, sometimes hot pepper and sugar. Sugar is like the secret ingredient. A little sprinkling usually brings the flavors together very nicely. So you can walk that up. Okay, so Mark, you taste that and you tell me if you think it needs anything. No, go ahead with the spoon. Is it any salt?
No, all it needs is a roast goatee.
You're going to make us lose viewers over that. Okay, Mark, I just want to ask you to spoon that into here for me.
Sure. Tasting so good, Wendy.
Yeah, and the rice, the rice makes the difference. And look at how beautiful that is, huh?
Yep.
Food is all about eating with your eyes first. I can't eat ugly food, That's great. So that is our beautiful, spicy fried Trini red Moruga rice.